Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you my books that I have. This is basically going to be a bookshelf tour. Okay, so I'll just start right here. I've got this rhyming dictionary. This Promises of God's Words isn't really my book, it was my great-grandmother's. And right here is these collections of the Bibles. I really like these books. I've got the Aromatherapy, the Chakra, Reiki, and the Wiccan Bible. Right here I have the True Blood collection. I don't have every book of the True Bloods. I kind of stopped on like the 4th or 5th book. Just reading other things, never did get back to it. So there's that. And then over here I got The Doors. I've always been a really big fan of Jim Morrison and The Doors. And so I have one of these books here that was written by Jerry Hopkins and Danny Sugarman. Right here I've got Beyond Good and Evil. This is Frederick. It's not zooming in very good. Okay, so the last name of that is spelled N-E-T-Z-S-C-H-E. If you're interested in checking that one out. It's kind of an older book. Alright, so this is Chariots of the Gods. It's basically kind of about unsolved mysteries of our past by von Daniken, Eric. He's also on Ancient Aliens a lot, talking about things. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting read. But I do like to watch Ancient Alien a lot. It's a pretty good show. And I got Walden here. Henry David Thoreau, I think. I've got this Wizard of Oz collection. I've had this for a really long time since I was a little girl. Mom got it for me for a Christmas present. It's a 4-book set, and it's pretty cool. I haven't read it in forever, but it's a pretty neat read if you like the Wizard of Oz stories. And then this is a short history on Indians of the U.S. This one I took an American Indian class in college. So, Garden Witchery, and I love this book. This book is great. Doors of Perception. This is the original book right here. And I think this might be worth at least 50 bucks or something. That's the St. Bernard Classic. And it goes into basically the history of the St. Bernard. Right, and then over here we got Everyday Sun Magic. It's pretty good. And there's The Power of the Witch. That's that first Wicca book that I ever read. I've got The Witch's Book of Wisdom. That's a really good book. And I've got this book here, which is pretty cool. That came from Tanya. This is Creative Visualization. This is really neat. I actually haven't really read much of this. It's kind of a early 2000s, late 90s book, I believe. Now this is a really interesting book here by David St. Clair. And it's called Lessons in Instant ESP. This is a fairly old book from the 70s. It has a lot of ways that you can, harness your power and energy and, use your natural abilities. Right here is The Green Man. This is just Tales from the Mystic Forest. This is really cool. I really like that book. I haven't really read much of it, but it's got lots of stories in it. It talks about the Green Man. Empowering Your Life with Wicca. And so there is a Shadow Magic. Right here, this is a pretty cool book. It's kind of dark and gothic-y a little bit. The guy is kind of a gothic-y dude, but got So Love. Now, this is a really cool book to kind of open your heart center, and it's a real spiritual style book. I really like the read and the style of this book. It helps you to connect with your higher self and connect with other people's higher selves. So it's real spiritual and nice. The Elements of Ritual. That one's pretty cool. I haven't read that in a while. And Advanced Witchcraft is something I hadn't read in a while. Those are both like from early 2000s, I believe. And then I got another Green Man book. Now this is really nice because it goes through the history of the Green Man and shows different like figures and things throughout time that feature the Green Man. So that's really neat if you're interested in the history of the Green Man. Okay, over here we got the Shamanic Witch. I'm really interested in shaman practices. I forgot to mention that's something that I try to incorporate in my spiritual practice as well. And this is a really cool book. Spiritual Practices Rooted in the Earth and Other Realms. This is Gail Wood. Good book. Then I've got here the Encyclopedia of Celtic Wisdom. Alright, and then I know a lot of us have this book, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I love it, love it, love it. And then right here we got Wicca for One, Raymond Buckland. I'm sure a lot of you have that book too. That's a nice one. And then here is Old World Witchcraft. Now this is really good because this is Raymond Grimanasi. Protection Magic, Practical Protection Magic. This is another Ellen Dugan. This is a really cool book. I really like the cover of it. And of course it's nice because it's purple. Got these two paganism books. They're both by the same author. This one's an introduction to earth-based or earth-centered religions. And then this one's on spirituality. And then we got The Shadow of the Shaman. It's another shamanism book connecting with self, nature, and spirit. This is a really, really good book too. So if you're into shamanism practices, if you're into shamanism and incorporate it in your practice, that could be an interesting read for you. Also, here I've got the Dictionary of Gods and Goddesses. Now this is really nice. It lists pretty much all the gods and goddesses throughout history. And this is by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Yeah. Okay, so that's really cool. It's kind of a thick, larger style book. So then it lists so many. And it has a dictionary in the back so you can look them up. Look up which, god or goddess you're looking for. And then this right here is the Spirit Book, Encyclopedia of Clairvoyance, Channeling, and Spirit Communication. So that's just a personal little book that I've had wrote in. This right here is The Blind Owl Blues by Rebecca Davis. And then right here is A Practical Guide to Vibrational Medicine, Energy Healing, and Spiritual Transformation. This is a nice read. It's thick, kind of a little bit more sciencey, psychology-like. We have Instant Magic here by Christopher Pinzak. Now this is a really, really good book. Ancient Wisdom, Modern Spellcraft. So this is a good one. And then Essential Spirituality. This has been, I would have to say this is probably my favorite book on this whole entire bookshelf. Because it has the 7 central practices to awaken heart and mind, exercises from the world's religions to cultivate kindness, love, joy, peace, visions, wisdom, and generosity. Now, this is by Roger Walsh, MD, PhD. Now, this book is amazing because it it compares all religions and all views of spirituality and religions, and compares them all to each other. And then goes into more in depth and stuff. And there's exercises in there you can do too. And this is just, this one's just so great. I love it. In fact, I may keep this out. I think I'm going to read that again. I think I may read that one again. Alright, so moving along. This is a really cool herb book. It has a lot of illustrations in it that features all pictures of herbs. So it helps you to kind of really identify what herb you've got going. Or trying to figure out what it is. Now, this is a classic here, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This is one of those collector's books that came out a few years ago. It's pretty cool. I really like it. Owls of the World. This is one of my favorite books because it features all the owls, through the world. And it has pictures in there, and it shows you where and what states owls would be, and lists different, description about them. And everything, so it's really nice. Sabbats, I love this book for the Sabbats. This is one of my favorite Sabbat books. It is a witch's approach to living the old ways. Now here we've got the Element Encyclopedia, 5,000 spells. That's a pretty thick book, and it's really cool. I have to admit I don't really use this book that often, but if you're just starting out on your path and you want some help with writing spells, or help with finding spells to do and things like that, this might be a good book for you because it's got 5,000 spells in it. And so you can always take a spell and rewrite it or reword it to suit yourself. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And Wicca, A Year and a Day. Yeah, Timothy Roderick. Or Roderick. No, sorry. Okay, so coming on down here, we have The Arts of Alice Madness. Now, I love this book because I love the video game. In fact, I've played the video game probably about 5 times because I've beat it on easy, I've beat it on normal, I've beat it on hard, and recently beat it on nightmare. So, yeah, I love that game. And I've also finally got to 100%, collecting all those bottles and memories. But this is awesome, this book right here. is an art book, and it features so many really colorful, beautiful photos, and it talks about the game and things like that, so it's great. Friday 13th. Now, if you're a Friday 13th fan or a horror fan, then this might be a book you want to get, because, let me just pull it out. It is, okay, this one is Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th. I love this book because I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th and Jason. Oh, William Blake, The Seer and His Visions. Now, William Blake is a man that claimed to receive visions and signs from higher power. And then this is a door. This came with the box set of the doors. It's like the little fold-out book, so it's pretty cool. These are some old, I'm not going to pull these out, but these are some old, like Book of Shadows types of things when I was doing them in the binder style. This is right kind of before I started making books. Alright, so these are photo albums. I won't pull those out. Just old photo albums from when I was a kid. I can't believe all that hair on there. Can you believe that? Look at all that. That's what happens when you have a lot of animals. Let me know if other people have this kind of stuff going on at their house. This is what happens when you have 2 Persian cats and a St. Bernard in your house. Alright, so this is the Complete Book of Cars. This just features a lot of photos of old antique cars. If you're an antique car fan, that might be something of interest to you. I know I am an antique car fan. And, so yeah, got cool stuff. Now, this is the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers. I am interested in the criminal mind. I don't think I've ever really mentioned much of that. So, you know, I went to school and majored in criminology and sociology. And I also have some basic classes and studies in psychology as well. Just very interested in serial killers and the criminal mind. So this is the Encyclopedia of Crystals. I really love that book. It's really has a lot of good information for crystals. Now, sometimes you may not resonate with exactly what this author says about the crystal, and I believe she also lists a lot of those new style crystals. So some people say that it's kind of inaccurate, but I find that book to be pretty good, and I like it. But you know, you take it for what it is, and you know, it's always good to, you know, see how a crystal relates to you, rather than just following a book. But I like this book, and it's by Judy Hill. Now, I'm sure all of you have this book, the Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. Alright, next I have Demons and Demonology. This book has never really come in handy for me, and I don't think I've ever even read it. I've looked through it a few times to look up a couple of names, but nah, not really for me. Alright, so you got The Easiest Ways to Learn the Tarot. This is a really cool book. It shows you how to kind of connect with the cards yourself, and has lots of exercises in it, so it's pretty cool. This is the Steampunk Bible. It talks kind of about how steampunk evolved and, you know, where it came from, and weight crafts and stuff that you can do in there. Now, from here all the way on, except for this thing, these are all old personal journals and diaries. I really love the way this one looks. This one looks really cool. I'm not going to open it because it's very personal and private. You know, and I like to write poems a lot, and stories, short stories. So sometimes I'll write those things inside my Book of Shadows as well. If you can't tell, it's really old one-year diary. This is when I first started writing in a journal. Right here, 8 years old. Now, you know, this doesn't really have a lot of spiritual progress or path or anything, because I was still very young, but I did write about some of the things that I would collect, you know, when I'd walk around outside, and some of the things that I did. Down here is the last shelf. Sorry, I know this is probably a long video. This is Witchcraft, A Secret History. You can't even really see it. It's an okay book. Honestly, I don't really like it that much. Now, this is Gardening Made Easy. This was my grandmother's. The one who passed away just a year and a half now. She really liked to keep a garden, and she had a real good green thumb. Now, her mom, which is my great-grandmother, on her side, she is amazing. I mean, she can grow like anything in her yard, and her yard is beautiful. Yeah. So, moving on, we got Jim Morrison. This is another Doors book. There's another Doors book. It's got the complete lyrics. I can't really pull anything out of this shelf. It seems really Like everything's stuck in there. That one really stuck. And then we got The Doors, The Complete Lyrics, Social Psychology. These are also the Cognition. These are college books that I had. Now I've got a Holy Bible here in one of those new student Bibles. How do you say that? Urantia book. Now that book is interesting. I haven't really read much of it because, as you can tell, it is super thick. Probably like two Bibles together. Now this one is really cool because it is the Pagan Christ, and it talks a lot about how a lot of Jesus's practices and ways that he taught was pagan related. Now right here we got the Jesus sayings. Now it's basically this guy wrote this book comparing lots of things that Jesus said and trying to prove how it's more in a pagan, nature-based way. The quest for his authentic message. This one is by Rex Wheeler. Horrible with little names. I ain't trying to pronounce. But if I see a face, I'll always remember it. It's like names I forget, faces I never forget. Stephen King, Christine. I love that book. And I love the movie too. Stephen King, From a Buick 8. Then we have another one of those Charlene Harris's True Blood True Blood books. Riders on the Storm. That's another Doors book. This is The Lizard King, another Doors book. Big Road Blues. This is both of these two books right here are, blues. This one's about Can Heat, that band, and then this one's just about a bunch of old blues musicians. And this is a really good book if you're going to be in music and you're wanting to study and research blues history. This book is great for it. And this is by David Evans. Over here is Sex Crimes. This is another college book. A lot of my other college books I have somewhere else. I don't know why I have these here, so I kind of need to get these out and go put them with the other college books. So here we got American Indian Studies, another one of those college books. Light My Fire, that is a Doors book. This is a Doors poem book, The American Night. This one is more rare because this one came out, let's see, I think this one was 68. '69. So this is one of the original ones that came out when he wrote it. A lot of these other ones have been reprints. Over here, we'll move on along. This is another poem book by Jim Morrison. Oops. This one is The Lords and the New Creatures. Oh, okay, yeah. This is the one remember I said that they came out in reprints? This is the reprinted version of this one. I got that from a friend because I liked Vampire Diaries and thought I'd want to start getting into the books too. But man, no, I don't think so. I don't know. I may check it out and probably sell it. And then here I've got The World of Fairies at the Dawn of Pixie Hollow. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.